Hello, good people, and praise the Lord. Welcome to our Kingdom Investment Month, brought to you by All Saints Chapel, Reza. This is the morning talk, and today we will be talking with Mr and Mrs Tushemereirwe. Join me, welcome these great people here. Hi.
Good morning.
Please say hello to the people, and then we get into our topic this morning.
Good morning, Saints. How are you? Yeah, thank you for tuning in to listen to us.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. So today we will be talking about the food basket. So right here, Professor, what do you understand by the food basket, and what importance is it? Of what importance is it?
Yeah, thank you. Every time I hear that Uganda is a food basket for the region, what comes to my mind is that Uganda has plenty of food that could serve the whole region. So the food basket, even for our families, implies having plenty of food to go around to service our families, to service our communities. Yes, the food basket. That's the food basket, and how do we bring it around?
Yes.
Yes.
So how important is the food basket?
It's important because for human beings to live, we need food.
Wow.
Actually, we are food.
Yes.
Without food, we are not there.
Yes,
And it
that's
must
true.
be good food.
Yes.
So this good food basket must be a basket of enough food and nutritious food.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes. Wow. So we need food. In all times we really need food. So do you think in this time do we have a lot of food like it's supposed to be? And what, if yes or no, what has caused the insufficiency of food if there is no food?
I would say we don't have enough food. Even the few who are taking enough of the food, filling their stomachs with the food, it's not good enough food. It's not nutritious. And one of the things that has gone wrong is how we keep the food that we produced. Number one, growing up, we had traditional food storage systems like granaries, which were always full of different types of food. Those are no longer there. They have their disadvantages, the thieves, and the grains getting weevilled, rotting away. But we've developed systems now to take care of that. But that one is no longer there. And as we live in towns, we don't have a luxury of putting up those granaries. So it has contributed to shortage of food. Yes.
Wow. So how can we ensure we have food all the time? Because like you said, we have food, we need food. So how can we ensure that we have food in all seasons?
Yes. One of the ways, there are two ways we could ensure we have enough food. Like us living in the town where I'm looking at our parishioners, you could have, many people have small gardens, have homes where they live, and there are little areas which could be farmed, so people could grow food in those small spaces. And number two, which is the most important, people should adopt storage systems so that those who produce food up country, we buy it when it is freshly harvested and store it. And when you store it after a short time, if you want, you can store food for 3 months and sell it. When you sell it, you will double the price at which you bought that food. So using improved storage systems is what we need to adapt. And it's what I want to recommend that we do to solve this food shortage problem in the cities.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I think the production of food sometimes is high, but then it goes to waste because we have not stored it well.
Yes. Wow. And talking about the storage, the there are two storage systems that I want to talk about. Maybe let me say there are three standard storage systems. One is the traditional one. There are some areas in rural areas where they still use granaries, but those are not appropriate for us in the city.
Yeah.
In the city, we have two systems we can use. We can use there is a system called hematic storage, hematic bag storage. Hematic bag, I will show it to you.
It's okay.
A hematic is a bag like this one.
Wow, hematic bag.
Yes. This bag is a special bag. This bag has some small pores, microscopic pores, which allows air to, just little air to go in, very, very little air to go in to keep the seed alive. But it does not allow the insects to go in. It's insects which damage the seed.
Okay.
If you've tried to store maize, you know there is an insect, it's called a weevil, which bores the seed and they get spoiled. Within 1 month, they are spoiled. So you can put your grains in here. You put your grain in here, and you use, after you fill it with grain, I've already filled it. I have brought a filled one to be fixed.
Okay.
So after putting your grain, you use this feed to tie. So you use this tie. When you tie it like this, and you put it, you now put this in a bag like this one. Actually, the best way to do it is to put this bag before you fill with the grain. But I wanted you to fill the bag. You put it in here. Now this is a bag full of grain.
Great.
So now this is the bag full of maize. When you tie here, very little air is going in. Very, very little, just enough to keep the grains alive, but not enough for the insects to survive.
Yeah,
so all the insects which were in the grain will die.
Oh.
Then you will have your grain, you will have your maize. And you can keep this grain for up to 6 months.
Oh, great.
In fact, that is if you want to replant it, you keep it for up to 6 months. But if you want to just eat it, the seeds will stop germinating by 8th to 9th month. But you can keep it for 12 months and even beyond. And you grind it and eat it as kaunga. So the problem of storage, this hematic bag system solves that problem.
Great.
Yes.
Wow, thank you.
So, these hematic bags are sold in markets. They are imported. We don't make them in Uganda. Like in Rweza, the nearest point is Aska. You know Aska at Rweza. Aska towards Sam. Another genuine dealer is Bolton and Bukora. Those are the three I would recommend who usually bring the good bags. But there are also Ugandans who have started manufacturing these bags. Those ones, we are still testing them. You know where I work at Kawanda Research Station. Normally, we test to confirm that the ones manufactured here do as good a job as the original ones. So we are still testing those, and we will be recommending which other sources you can pick from. Yes, so that's for maize. You can also use the same hematic bag for beans. But for beans, you need, this one I've shown you, you need you need to be double. This is the one for beans. In this one, I've already put it inside the bag. You notice you need to tie, and it comes with strings which you are going to use to tie. And inside there are 2 bags. Like the other one I showed you, it has this one. The one for beans has 2. The reason there are 2, the weaver for beans is very, very strong.
Wow.
When it's one like I will put here, they will bite from outside and they bite through the bag and it enter. But when there are 2, you notice you need to tie, and it comes with strings which you are going to use to tie. And inside there are 2 bags. Like properly, and you are ready to go.
Wow.
For instance, in here we have 90 kilograms of beans.
Wow.
Which we have said. I'm not going to pretend that you look inside, but they've been here for, when did we harvest? I think so 2 months ago. 2 months. But they are completely weaver free. There is another bag from which we are picking what we are eating. When you open, a few weavers will manage to go in. But this one, which remains closed, will remain like this for 6 months.
Wow.
Then you can sell your beans if you want. You can eat them. You can go and plant.
Great.
So that's hematic storage.
Wow.
That's system number 1 you can use here. But another storage system that I want to talk about is, which is the second one you can use in the city, is for large scale. If you want to do business and you want to keep, for instance, 2,000 tons, that one involves using some chemicals. It's a chemical, it's a pesticide. You use a pesticide, but it requires getting a professional, an expert to help you set it up. You shouldn't attempt to do it yourself, but there are professionals who we can recommend you use, and they set up the system for you to be able to harvest, to protect your grain. Yes. And one important thing you must remember is to make sure that the grain you are going to store is dry. And how do you tell that it is dry? We are trying to develop systems which are appropriate for people to use. The quickest way to tell is to buy a machine. There is a machine for measuring moisture. And that machine will tell you how much moisture you want. Say, if you want 13% moist, your machine will read the moisture for you. When it reaches that moisture, you close. But the other way is to use another system. Like in here, this is a mineral water bottle, and in here I've put these are very dry beans. These are wettish. These ones are not so dry. So to prove what happens, you open. You do the experiment. You put in just 1 spoon of in each. You put 1 spoon of salt. You put 1 in each. So we will put one spoon of salt in each. And in one, the beans are not very dry. In another, they are very dry. And after about 5 to 10 minutes, you can check, about 10 minutes. When you check this one, when beans are dry, when you turn, you'll not see salt sticking on the side. When they are dry. So let's give this one a few minutes, then you will see what will happen.
Wow, Professor! I'm really interested in that in the bag, the storage bag. It's really, really good. So we thank God we have a chair, women ministry. So to you, Auntie Jessica, please would you help a woman out there who's saying, I'm in town, maybe my place is really small. How can you help them know that even if you're in town, you can still have food all through and in all seasons?
Thank you, Claire. We can use our compounds. You cut a small bit of the compound and grow the things that you need so that you reduce on the amount of money you spend in the market. You can grow dodo. You can grow onions. I have spring onions. I have dodo. I do spinach and all those broccoli and cauliflower. All those greens. Most of the greens, actually, I grow them myself because it helps me, first of all, reduce on the amount of money spent in the market, but also avoid chemicals. Because many people spray their plants and they don't use the right chemicals. So to avoid that, I do that. But I've also planted fruit trees in my backyard. I have chitoferi, I have avocado, I have mangoes. We are seated under guava.
Wow, we need to have a look at all that.
Yes, I do that. I actually even have strawberries.
Oh, great.
Yes, the dry season has not handled us well. But yes, when you come during the rainy season, it's doing well. We can also plant herbs like mint, rosemary, all those mints we use during, all those herbs we use during cooking. But also the herbs we use for our beverage, like mujaja, mudalasin, mint, the grass, the mutete, the one that we put in our tea. I've planted all that. So when you plant it, you reduce on the cost of the money, but also you have ready, fresh food. Usually, we are recommended to have the food that has the most nutrients, especially with vegetables. It's the ones that you have just picked and cooked. So to maximize on the nutrients, have yoga garden there. Or even when you get a visitor very late and you didn't know, you have yoga dodo, you can run and pick the kadodo and mingle millet and give the visitor. So ladies, have those small gardens. You don't have excuses. You can use bags, you can use pots. Even if you're staying in a small place, look for a corner somewhere, put there the bags, put in soil, put in the seeds, and you'll have what you require. Yes.
Wow, thank you very much. Professor, do you have any message that you can give out to the parishioners out there?
That we are all capable of turning our homes into a food basket by adopting this storage system I've talked about of hermetic bag. You can store food grain for use at home, but you can store even enough to sell and you make money. Exactly. When I did it the other season, I stored grain for 5 million, and at the time I sold, I got 10 million. I doubled, and that was within 6 months. I doubled the money. You buy at the time of harvesting and sell at the time of planting. You double the money, sometimes more than a double. So you can turn it into a business, and you can have enough food for your home.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, to encourage the women to get out of their comfort zones and do something to supplement their homes. I was telling you I had even mangoes. I also grow even pumpkins. But recently, I don't know whether it is the wrong location or the monkeys came and destroyed my pumpkins. So I don't know whether I'm the one in the wrong location or the monkeys are in the wrong location. So I am trying to see how I can relocate my pumpkin garden. But yes, let's all get out, even the men can get out and do it. It's not difficult. Get those bags and plant to supplement. Yes.
Wow.
So before we go, let's look at our experiment. This is the dry bottle. When it is dry, you see, when you turn, it remains very, very clear. The salt is not sticking on the side. It's not sticking. And here is the one which the beans which are not so dry. When you see, I don't know whether the camera will see all this salt. You see, the salt has remained all over sticking. It is sticking here. It means the beans in here are not yet dry. When they are completely dry, we should have the bottle should be very, very clear like this. When it is clear, then your beans are ready for storage. You put in your metal bag and store. Same with maize.
Wow. God bless you. This comes to the end of our morning talk. See you again and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.